In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, one God, Amen. A blessed fast of St. Mary's to all of you. Pray that everyone is just in the blessings of the St. Mary's fast, join liturgies and coming to church and the praises. We just would like to give you a quick update about the church guidelines during that difficult time that we're all going through. Um, First of all, I just would like offer a special thanks to the Holy Urban Committee for their dedications and coming early and making Urban. There is a huge team of servants who come to prepare the Urban before every liturgy. Now we have about 5 liturgies a week, and they make an also small Urban for the people to take as a blessing for homes. And so the amount that they make and they bag it, they put it in a Ziploc bag. They do a great effort in coming and preparing. So just would like to offer a special thanks for all the servants who work very hard in that committee. Also, I'd like to offer special thanks to the sanitization committee, those who group of youth and also ladies, they come after each liturgy. After each liturgy, they spend about more than an hour cleaning up the church and sanitizing the church, disinfecting the church and the bathrooms and all the foyer area. They spend lots of time. I'd like to thank them very, very much for their effort. And they put extra hours after the liturgy just to prepare the church for the next day liturgy. Also, I'd like to thank all the ushers committee. They come early before the liturgy, and they take the temperature. They make sure the organization. So they do a great job. Thank you so much for all their ministries. May the Lord bless them and reward them. Also, would like to thank all the congregation of St. George for their respecting the rules and following the guidelines. I see dedications and commitment and taking it seriously. I just would like to thank you all for taking these guidelines very seriously. We really appreciate it, and thank you so much for following these guidelines. Um, just for the next few weeks, this is just small changes that we're making. First of all, we increased the number of people who can come to the church. We added the foyer area, put 4 queues, and also so they can add more congregations to come. So now we increase the sign-up sheet to 90 per liturgy, 90, which is almost gives a chance to everyone to come, especially during the week liturgies. They can come anytime. Um, we still keep the sign-up sheet, so it's important that before coming to the liturgy to sign up. I know even the numbers we never reach that 90, but it's important to sign up so we know who came to the church, just in case, God forbid, if someone found out later on after the liturgy that he was tested positive or something, our responsibility to let all the congregation who came to the liturgy that day know if the case, so they can take the precaution, see their doctors, and seek medical help if necessary. So it's important to sign up, although it's almost anyone can come any liturgy, and this is the whole point: is allowing people to come to the liturgy as often as they can. The only exception is with Sundays, because Sundays there is still, because most of the people on off on Sundays, so the numbers has to be limited. So sign up as much as you can during the week, almost any day. Again, any day after 7 or 8 p.m., you can check the sign up sheet and see if there is spots available. Please sign up and come to that liturgy if you would like to come. So again, it's open to everyone. I encourage you to come. And again, please, if you signed up and for some reason you can't come to the church and the liturgy, please cancel your registrations to give a space to someone else to be able to come to the liturgy. So please, if you're not able to come for any reason, please cancel your registrations. Also, another changes that we made is dates. We In the past, we allowed only high schoolers to be serve as deacons. Now we're allowing also middle schoolers to serve as deacons, give more chance for the deacons. The younger ones, we're still waiting for a few weeks or so till things improve a little bit, and then we'll allow them, because they're, kids by their nature is just they move around a lot. So we're allowing only uh, middle school and up. And also, we're encouraging them to stand if they're brothers or something. They stand next to each other or they're next to their dad, so give a space. And also, younger ones will allow them. They can wear the tonia. Abuna can bless their tonias. They can wear it, but they have to stand next to their parents together. So this keeps them together as a family. So this is for the deacons, and we highly encourage you to encourage your kids to come to the church as often as possible.
Thank you, Abuna. Uh, I would like to talk about the recommendation from the CDC. We're looking to keep the church congregation healthy and safe. So there's some things we have to follow. First one is the mask. You have to have your mask on you since you arrive to the church until the time you leave the church. The only exception is during communion. And I would like to just show you quick how to put the mask on. You have to cover your nose and your mouth. We don't want to see it down here or down there. That doesn't do any good, and you can get infected or infect other people if you carrying the disease or the virus. So the mask is on since you arrive until you get back to your car, except during communion. Everyone above 2 years old had to have the mask on all the time. Um, Even the deacons during the reading or during serving with Abuna in the altar, they have to have the mask on. During the reading, keep it on so you don't infect, or um cause infection to anyone who use the mic after you. Um, Hand social distancing is number two. So you have to keep your spot in the pew. When the usher tell you to stay in the spot, you have to stay there. No much movement. To limit the social distancing between you and other people. Um, in the meantime, during communion, you have to listen to the ushers and keep the distance between and the family before you or the family after you. The third thing is hand sanitizing. Uh, you have to sanitize your hand when you get in the church, and for the deacons, every time the deacons who serve with abuna in the altar, every time abuna wash his hand, you have to sanitize your hand too. For the deacon who use the microphone or the readings, the mic. Uh, During the reading, you have to sanitize it. There is a container with wipes. You can just wipe it out and make sure it's sanitized so the person who's after you going to use the microphone that does not catch anything from you or from any other one. The last thing, the upgrade we did or update, that no one had to take his shoes off when you arrive to church now. So effective next liturgy, which is Friday, you don't have to take your shoes off when you come to church. Thank you, Dr. Safa.
Thank you, Sabina. Well, we would like to thank you all for your cooperation when we opened the church and following the rules to keep it as safe for all our congregation. And we'd just like to remind you, as you see on the news, the number of the COVID-19 patients is still on the rise. So this is in Illinois and Will County too, and and actually it's all over the nation as well. And as expected, with school starting, these numbers probably are going to get a lot higher when the kids go to school, and they might carry the virus and come back home. So just like to emphasize that anyone has any kind of like cold symptoms, stuffy nose, runny nose, congestion, headaches, or a sore throat, with or without a fever, it's really important to get the test done, the COVID-19 test. It's a swab from the nose. All of us probably heard that. It's a pretty bad one, but honestly, it's not that bad. It's quite important to know about it for a couple of reasons. The first one, for your own sake. Like if you get the infection, God forbid, and you wait, it's like a mild cold, or just wait and keep waiting, you might have some changes, develop pneumonia, and things can get worse. So at least when you know it's positive, you're almost like on a high alert that you can seek medical advice faster, so you start treatment faster. The other thing also that for your family too. So as we know that you would need to quarantine yourself in a room. so you don't infect the rest of the family members. And that's quite important, even though we know that people with pre-existing conditions can end up pretty bad, but still, we have seen like 20, 30-year-old with no pre-existing condition, things can end up pretty bad for them too. So please be advised to do the test for you, for your friends, for your family too, because that's quite important. The other thing would like to say too, like if you do have some cold symptoms like the headache, stuffy nose again, or congestion, please don't come to church or the whole family considered one unit. So there is still a possibility that's going to be, it might be the COVID infection, even though with mild symptoms. So with or without a fever with cold symptoms, please do not come to church so you don't expose other church members for the infection, because unfortunately, even though the virus has been out for a good 5 months or so, and there is definitely some progression in the treatment, it still can end deadly. And the other reason too, there's the programs for tracing and context. So if the virus spread through the church, we'll probably be forced to close the church, and none of us wants that. So please just keep it healthy for our fellow brothers and sisters at church. The last thing I would do is for whoever tests positive, we're following the CDC guidelines that would say the whole family stays home for 14 days. After the 14 days with no symptoms, they can come back to church. And thank you so much.
Many thank you, Saf. Just
Thank
again,
you.
I would like to thank all the congregation of St. George for their commitment and their effort and keeping the guidelines. This is for your safety and the safety of others also. Um, and also would like to remind you that also coming to when you come to a church, the temperature will be taken. No changes in there. You'll still have to fill out the form. No changes there. And also you have to sanitize your hands before you come to enter into that church. Also, I just would like to encourage all the youth and to come to the church more often as whenever you have time. There are more options to come to the liturgies now, so please sign up and come to a church. Also, we have now 3 weeks ago we started having tasbiha and ashiya on Saturdays. So please come to these, enjoy the tasbiha and the praises of all your saints. Also, I would like to remind you, and now if you would like to schedule an appointment for confessions with Abuna, you have the app or just text me, and then we can schedule time for confession. May God bless you and be with you. Blessed St. Mary's Fast to everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.